Hello folks, this is Sullla. You probably weren't expecting to see me post a video, but it's good to see and good to hear from all of you again. Let me start by explaining a little bit about what's been going on for the past couple months. Nothing bad has been going on. I'm not dead, I'm not in jail, as some people might have thought. But let me explain what's actually been going on for the last couple months. Basically, long story short is I have been taking a break from recording videos because I really needed some time off. Now this really started at the end of 2013. At the end of the year we had the Christmas holidays and it was super busy, Christmas and New Year's. Then in January I was teaching a winter semester course which was very intensive. That was 3.5 hours per day with one class, and then in addition to doing all the teaching, I also had to do all of the grading with quizzes and papers and exams, and January was just a super busy month while all that was going on. So anyway, by the time February rolled around, I wasn't quite as busy, but I just didn't really have a great desire to go back and start making more videos. I'd been making two, three, four or more videos a week every single week for about 3 straight years, and I really just needed some time off to basically chill out and not have the pressure of making videos constantly to put up on this channel. So anyway, I just really took a break and was not putting up videos for some time. Anyway, so let me show you what I have in fact been working on. We'll go ahead and go over to the screen view. One of the things that I've been working on is I've been working with Civilization 4. Here I'm going to pull up my website right here. We were doing something known as CivForce AI Survivor. Basically the idea behind this was do a little competition to have all of the AI leaders play against one another in a big bracket. So there are 52 leaders in Civ 4 and we had them all play against each other in opening round games. Then the winners moved on to the playoffs and ultimately they had a championship, and it was a lot of fun just basically seeing how that worked. That was something that I was doing through my website. The format didn't really work that well for something to do online. It would have been very tedious to live stream this or try to put it up on YouTube. So anyway, if that's something that interests you, it is up on the website, and I'll go ahead and put a link to that in the description of this video if you want to check it out. It's all written reports if that's your kind of thing. But anyway, moving forward, what we're going to do is I've actually got a little PowerPoint here for us to take a look at. So multimedia, and here we go, summer 2014 projects. So things that I'm planning on working on over the summer, because my students have just taken their final exams this week, finished that up, and the summer months should be a little bit less busy, and I'm actually kind of interested to get back and work on some video stuff again. So coming up for the next couple months, I am going to try and use this summer to catch up on various projects that I didn't finish before. This is sort of the catch-up summer. First and foremost, want to finish the Always War Babylon game for Civ 4. This has been requested many times. I have gotten emails about this. I've gotten YouTube messages about this. People have said they really genuinely do want to see the end of this game. So that is first up on the agenda. This game is actually pretty close to completion, in all honesty. I'd say it's probably at about the 75% mark, so there's probably not too much more to be done, but the game is not finished yet, and I'm going to try and do that for you guys. That is the first thing I'm going to try to do, so I will be trying to work on that in the next couple days and see what I can do as far as finishing off that game. Alright, number 2 on here, League of Legends retrospective. I have not been playing League of Legends. I don't think I've played a single game in 2014. Really, since Season 4 started, I have not played any games. And to be honest, I don't have a great desire to play more games. Still kind of burned out on League right now. Don't have a great desire to play more games. Now, that said, I have been following the competitive scene. I did watch both the North American and the European LCS in the spring. I watched the All-Stars, which just took place a couple weeks ago. All-Stars was really exciting, really great event, I have to say. Good stuff. But so you might see up here it says retrospective. So even though I'm not really looking to play that much League, I do want to try and do some videos related to this. League of Legends is coming up on its 5th anniversary. For those who don't know, League came out of beta in the end of 2009. I believe it was October or November of 2009. So we are getting relatively close to the 5th anniversary for League of Legends. What I wanted to do was go back and look at some of the earlier stuff from League, in particular the early competitive scene, what it looked like in sort of the early days of competitive play when the first professional teams were starting up. To go back and look at some of those games, see what had changed over time, look at how things had evolved, and do some things with that. I also thought it would be useful to do this because so many of the initial professional players have kind of been retiring in recent weeks, really in this recent break between the spring and summer splits, it feels as though all of that initial wave of professional players have almost entirely retired and left the professional scene now. So it seems like it's a good time to go back and look at some of this stuff. In any case, I'll talk more about this when I actually have some videos to put up on the channel. I've actually been finding some of the footage I want to use in the past week. But anyway, so more on that coming, more stuff. We're going to look back at some of the early days of League in preparation for its 5th anniversary. Next up, more Rogue Legacy class series. This is an ongoing project for my website, if you follow my website, where I look at each individual class in the game Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy is an indie platforming game. It's sort of like a Castlevania or Metroid game. Came out, I can't remember if it was 2013 or 2012, but it's been out for a little while now. Anyway, really fun game if you like 2D platformers. I've been doing a lot of stuff with that on my website. I want to continue that. I still have a couple more classes to get through. Right now, I've been working on the Spell Sword. I probably won't put a lot of stuff on the YouTube channel for this, but I will try to live stream some of this because it's kind of a fun game to watch someone live stream through. And people can laugh when you get killed and that sort of thing. But anyway, so there should be some more Rogue Legacy stuff coming up. Next up, Master of Orion. So an oldie but goodie game. I have done a lot of stuff with this in the past. I've done a playthrough here on YouTube before. I want to do a game with the Silicoids. So for those who don't know, and I don't expect a lot of people to be super familiar with Master of Orion because it's a very old game nowadays, the Silicoids are the most unique race in Master of Orion. They are basically space rocks. So League of Legends, if you think of Malphite, they're kind of like that. They don't play like any of the other races. There's a whole bunch of unique features to them because they are basically sentient rock beings. They don't really eat food in the way that the other races do. So they make a great choice to do for a playthrough because they're very, very different and they have a lot of unique gameplay. Anyway, so I'm going to try to do Always War Babylon first, and then I'll see if I can get to the Silicoids after that. But that is on my to-do list for this summer. We'll see if I can get to that. Next up, Final Fantasy V Solo Mimic class. I have finished all of the other solo classes except for the Mimic. That's the last one that still has to be done, so that is also on my list, on my agenda of things to get done here in the summer of 2014, so I'm going to be trying to do this. This probably will not show up on YouTube at all, but it's something I'll be working on for my website. I actually have something very unique in mind to do for the Solo Mimic, and I don't want to spoil the surprise. Just know that in the background, I will probably be working on this, even if you don't see it until it's done. Next up, going back even further into the past, unfinished Diablo 2 hardcore characters. This has been on the back burner for, I guess, about 3 or 4 years now, possibly even longer than that. But I do have some characters that are in hell difficulty who are hardcore characters that I have not finished, and it's always bugged me that I didn't finish these characters. So I'm going to try to go back and finish them at some point in time over this summer. Now, I don't know if I'll get to this, but that's my goal in any case. My characters, Sullla and Winnie, for those who are long-time readers of the website. This is also something that I will probably try to live stream these characters. And since they're hardcore characters, it's going to be very tense because, you know, if I die one time, the game is over for any of these characters. But I will probably have to go back and do some practicing. I might have to go back into some easier areas and practice a little bit because with hardcore, you die once, the game's over. Now, that is Diablo 2, so Diablo 2 is kind of an older game, but, you know, a lot of these games are kind of old. Master of Orion came out in 1994. Final Fantasy V came out in 1992, I believe, 92 or 93. Diablo 2 came out in 2000, so if I enjoy a game, I'll keep playing it. It doesn't really matter how old it is. In fact, I don't really like a lot of the newer games that come out. Then finally, one last thing here. Yes, Civilization V Brave New World. You might not have expected this. I'm sort of a well-known critic of Civilization V, but I've received a lot of requests to take a look at the expansions for Civilization V. I do own Brave New World, for the curious. I bought it when it was on a Steam sale for 75% off. I think it was $7 or something trivial like that. Now, I have followed the Civ 5 scene. I'm pretty familiar with what Civilization 5 looks like in terms of high-level play. I probably will need to play a couple games on it, maybe 2 or 3, just to get a real good sense for what the expansion looks like, so I may try to live stream that. Yes, I know, right? Live streaming Civilization 5. People probably never thought they'd see that from me. Again, overall, Civ 5, it's not a terrible game. It's just not a great game. It's somewhere in between. It's kind of an average game is the way I'd look at it. It tries to do some interesting things with its design choices, but they don't really work. I guess that's how I'd put it. I like the idea behind some of the design decisions, but they just don't really work in practice. I mean, that's kind of the problem. It's a game that had unique ideas, but they don't really work. I hate to repeat myself, but that's kind of how it is. So Civ 5, you know, it's an okay game. It's average. It's average. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's in the middle. Is it as good as Civ 4? No, it is not as good as Civ 4. It is far inferior to Civ 4, but it is a okay game in its own right. And I have had a lot of requests to do a write-up on that, so I will try to see if I can get to that as well. So anyway, that's quite a lot here. Again, I don't know if I'll get to all this, but that is the idea. So a little bit refresher course on following me, keeping in touch. YouTube, if you're watching this, you already are familiar with the YouTube. It's youtube.com/user/lcsulla, same as it has ever been. Twitter, you can also follow me on Twitter at the same place, lcsulla, and the website is gareth.net/Sullla. I should have put the live stream on here. The live stream is also lcsulla, exactly the same as the Twitter. It's just twitch.tv/lcsulla. I should have put a link to that here as well. I will put it in the description under this video. And remember, as always, you must use 3-letter L's, where you'll be directed to someone else who is not me, and you won't be following my stuff. So anyway, wanted to update people with what's going on. Again, have plenty of plans for the summer. Should be getting back to a more routine series of videos. If you want to know when I'm live streaming, you can either follow on Twitter. I promise when I'm going to live stream, I will post something on Twitter. Or alternately, I think you can just subscribe to the actual live stream on Twitch TV. I think that also gives you a message if I'm going to be streaming. So between Twitter and Twitch TV, that is how you can know if I'm live streaming. In any case, though, wanted to update. Hope that everybody's been doing well. Hope everybody's been having a great spring. And hope to see you guys around during the summer. So if you've got any questions, you've got any comments or suggestions, post this under the video, and I will definitely take a look at them and see what you have to say. So anyway, until next time, see you guys later. Have a good one.